Hello, hi, my good people. How are you? I hope you are well. I'm also fine. So, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and thank you so much for your supports and your feedback and also your comments. So, today we are going to discuss about just asking ourselves, like, what is marriage? Because I've interacted with people who they feel like I need someone who is financially stable. I need someone who, will take care of me. I need someone who is beautiful. I need someone who is committed. I need someone who is kind. And people have their own views and opinions and what they really want in a marriage. So today I want us just to answer this question, like what is a marriage? Because people struggle a lot, even when it comes to choosing a partner, and someone feels like I don't want this one, but I want this one. And I've met different clients who say that I regret marrying this person. Like when I saw them, I thought they're good people, but things have changed, and now I feel like was not my cup of tea. You understand? And then there are people who will be like, I didn't love this person, but after marriage, I feel like we are blending and we are good, and I'm really loving this person day by day. So today we're just going to ask ourselves, what is marriage? Because I've seen even people who they may be separated or divorced, and then they meet another person, and they're like, this person is good, compared to my maybe previous or my ex. But there are those also who they'll come from one relationship to another, and like they can't even compare. Like it's now becoming like bad, like from the frying pan into the fire. But there are those who they'll be like, I love what I have. So for me, I feel like marriage is a vacuum. Marriage is something that is like a blank check, like an empty glass. And what you bring into that glass is what will define your marriage. Because as you go out there and look for a perfect partner, for me, I believe there's no one who is perfect. People have their own flaws, their own weaknesses, and their own strengths. So number one, you should also be self-aware as a person. Like, what do I want? What do I want? So that when you go outside there, ukienda soko, even the same way by the way we go to the market, you know what you want, and you're like, I'm going to buy nyanya, kitungu, maybe I'm going to buy this and this, I'm going to buy some greens. So even when you go to that market or that supermarket, you know what you want. We should apply the same principles when it comes to dating, when it comes to marriage, because now you know what you want and you are like, this is what I want, this is what I desire. So even when you meet someone and they portray kind of what you want, you'll be like, okay, this one I can give it a try. But most of us, we feel like marriage is bad. I've seen people posting negative things about marriage outside there. Marriage is a scam. I don't know, marriage does not exist. Lately, one Gen Z told me that for him is not for marriage, and he doesn't think that he will get married because he feels like marriage in Africa, it's full of pretense. And he was telling me that one thing I know is that my mom ajaikuwa happy. Like I can tell you, my mom has never enjoyed marriage since I was born. And this is someone who is like 18, 19 years. So they're telling you that they can't like own a marriage. Mm-mm. And he was telling me there's no point of staying with someone and then you pretend like everything is okay for the sake of the kids. But even us as your own children, we know that things are not okay. And he was telling me that, sometimes we just sit at the dining table and we're having our supper, quote unquote, a family, but we are not really a family because you know that things are not okay in the house. So for these people, they're like this, maybe this lady, she was like, I'm here for my kids, but the kids are not even happy in that relationship. They feel like, what are you doing in this relationship? So for me, marriage is a vacuum. And as they say, garbage in, garbage out. If you go into a relationship and you are toxic yourself, it will not work. If you go into a relationship, you can meet someone who is a fine person, a good person, but because for you, you are broken, you will end up bringing a lot of negativity in this relationship and everything will crumble. And then we'll be like, marriage is a scam. So, number one, just know what you want. So, there's nothing like a perfect marriage. Mm-mm. There's nothing like a perfect relationship. It is you, the two of you, to make it perfect or to make it good or to make it enjoyable, or it is upon the two of you to make it like a toxic environment, like for everyone. Like by the time you're having your kids, they are landing on a very toxic environment. And that is why you find that most kids, they're like, I rather go to a boarding school than being in this house where there's a lot of negativity. And they'll be like, me, I just want to go to a boarding school. And these kids that suffering mentally, they're suffering psychologically. And these are the kids that are saying they don't want to see marriage because they've witnessed a lot of pretense, a lot of negativity in their homes. So marriage is a vacuum. My dear, hiyo story ya ati unatafuta mtu perfect ni wewe ukwe perfect na umeke ule mtu mwingine akwe perfect. If wewe uko perfect alafu you go pick someone who is still healing, but the marriage is not a rehab. Marriage is not a rehab because there are people who run away from their problems thinking that they will get saved or they will get healed in a marriage. Marriage is not a rehab. So don't enter into a relationship and you are like, when I get married, I will not like cheat. I'm just having many girlfriends because I'm single. When I get married, I'll be faithful to my wife. I'll be faithful to my husband. Nah, it doesn't work like that. It is all about you to have good character. Actually, if you are like someone who we call it community husband, if you're a community boyfriend, when you get married, it will be worse because now in marriage, there are a lot of challenges that you will face, and now you'll tend to go out there and look for something that will make you happy. So if you're not happy as a single person, you'll never be happy in a marriage. And I always say that the opposite of single is not unmarried. The opposite of single is not like unmarried, because you can be single but you are broken. You can be single but you are not whole. The opposite of single is just being whole. Like, are you comfortable being who you are? Are you comfortable being alone? Are you comfortable doing things like you don't have that dependency? Because there are people who they feel like, I cannot stay without a man, I cannot stay without a woman. And these guys, they're running from something. They don't want to face their reality. They don't want to be alone and just think about themselves. Even the Bible says that, be still and know that I'm God. Now you are always on the highway. There's no day you will be just still being alone and just learn yourself and know who you are. Because if you're always in the crowd, you will not know who you are. You will not even learn from your mistakes because you are always on the race. So if you have come from a relationship or you want to start a relationship, just know what you want so that when you enter into a marriage, now you will bring your good aroma here, you will bring your good aura, you will bring, your negative, your positive energy or your negative energy, whatever energy you carry. So if you bring the positive energy and the other person brings the positive energy, then marriage will be a place to enjoy, a place to have fun, a place to have fulfillment, a place to have companionship, a place to experience love, a place to experience good things. But if you bring your negativity, you are the one that will enjoy that negativity and it will be toxic for both of you. So marriage is not a rehab. Like the people who just run away from their problems, they're like, I'm struggling financially. If I get married, I think now because we'll be paying one house, so I think everything will work. It will not work. If you have issues with how you manage your finances as a single person, you still have issues with finances even as a married person. If you have issues with anger, if you have issues with bitterness, you still drag all your negativity into this marriage. So today, let's just learn that there's nothing like a perfect marriage. Marriage is what the two of you decide to make it to be. If you are committed to have peace in this house, you'll always have peace. And having peace means that if you have issues, you sit down and sort your issues together. But there are those who are like, me, I cannot sort my issues. And ego is killing a lot of marriages, by the way. It is about ego and pride. There's nothing like it cannot be sorted out, but there is everything like, I don't want to sit down and be told my mistakes. So it's just everything can be reconciled. But sometimes you find two people who are irreconcilable. Like they don't want to, like one has made up his mind or her mind, I don't want this thing. So even if the other person is fighting, the other person will fight and fight, but nothing will change. So marriage is about two people who are willing to make it work. Because one thing I've learned also is that, like, we have issues in your marriage, and then this one partner goes out there to look for another person, like mpango wa kando or a side chick, or I don't know, a side what, a side hen and a side chick, something of the sort. And because you have someone outside there, you'll feel like, I don't need this person. Like, hata kitaka aende tu, hata kitaka hata aende. Because you are thinking, you are doing, like you are hurting the other person. But you are hurting yourself. Because once this person leaves, the other person also leaves. And then you are alone. So I always feel like, hakuna kitu iwezi sotiwa kwa marriage. Like, hakuna kitu watu hawezi sort. It's just because one person is full of pride or full of ego, and they don't want to be told anything, and they don't have time to be sat down and be told like this and this and this is not right. So there are people who they're always then they feel like, okay, ukichoka we toka uende, and you feel like the other partner is really fighting for this relationship to work, but the other partner yashamua mimi siko hapa. So I just want us to know that marriage is just a vacuum. What you bring in is what you will reap. What you sow is what you will reap. What you bring in is what you will receive. How you treat the other person is how they will treat you. If you are kind to them, they'll be kind to you. If you come and you are rude and you are ego and you don't want to you don't want to listen to anyone, they'll do the same. And then we'll be there. Oh, marriage is a scam. Oh, if you want, I don't know, to develop, be single. Oh, if you want, marriage was ordained by God, but it's us human beings that we have come with a lot of definitions of marriage. And nowadays, it's a sad reality that people marry for wrong reasons. People marry because you have money. People marry because you are handsome, you're beautiful. But those are the things that cannot sustain a marriage. And even love. Love is not a feeling. Love is a choice. And love is a choice that you make, like, I'll love this person no matter what. Whatever happens to them, I will always, always be there for them. So love is not a feeling. I feel like, I feel like I love you. Not, love is a choice. You just sit down, call yourself in a meeting, ufike mapema na uchukue mpaka minutes na useme sasa huyu, now I'll stay with this one, and then you make that choice. Whether they are snoring at night, whether I don't know they are doing what, whether they have added weight, whether they have lost weight, whether they have lost their job, whether they're not able to give birth or they've given birth to children that you didn't want. Maybe you wanted two, now they are pregnant with baby number 3. It's just making a choice, like, I will love this person. And if you make a choice, you'll end up even fighting for your marriage. But if it is all about feeling, I feel good when I see you, I feel feelings huisha. So just know that feelings huisha. So if you're marrying someone because of feelings, think again. If you're marrying someone because of how they are looking, I don't know what, think again, because life is constantly changing. Life is full of change. Today you wake up this side, tomorrow you wake up this side. So marriage is a vacuum, and it is us to know what you are bringing into the marriage. It's like you want to cook a meal. Maybe you want to cook chicken. It is you to determine the spices that you're going to use. Which spices are you going to use? So if you decide, I'm just going to boil this chicken and eat it like this, it will be tasteless. But if you look for dania, hoho, I don't know what, the spices, everything, this chicken will be so sweet. So that's marriage for you. If you decide you are going to put in the work, it will be for you, your own good. If you decide, I don't care, whatever happens, let it happen, I don't care, you come with a lot of negativity, you think it's a rehabilitation center for you because you want to heal from an heartbreak, you want to heal from your financials, I don't know, you're struggling financially, kitakuramba tu, and dust will remain to be constant. And then we'll be here blaming people and saying the way marriage is a scam. Marriage is not a scam. Just know what you want. And just know that marriage is a vacuum. Garbage in, garbage out. What you bring is what you get. And people should stop saying like, my spouse has changed, bwanangu amechange, bibi yangu amechange. Before you say that, just ask yourself, what have you been doing to them? Because people do change. Alikuwa mzuri lakini siku hizi, now what happened? Where did it start? And then if the two of you are willing to reconcile and make it work, fine. So that's it for today, my people, and I hope you are good. And my prayer is that we'll see more of positivity about marriage, because marriage was ordained by God and marriage is a good thing. It is us that we are going into it for different reasons, but at the end of the day, I pray that we'll raise our kids in a good environment, because man, we are torturing these children in the name of nalea watoto. I remember one person told me sometimes back, and she was like, I was surprised because my kid came and told me, Mom, si twende. what are we doing in this marriage? I mean, we can survive without this person because it was toxic. And this lady told me, I cried because for me, I was there thinking like I'm there in that marriage because of my children. But my children were suffering. They were tortured. And they were also thinking like, when are we going to leave this place? But for you as a wife, you are like, I'm here because of my children. Like sitatoka, wacha nilele watoto. But the kids that you are fighting for, they are tired. They're just waiting for you. When will you say like we are getting out of here? So bye bye for now. May God bless you and may God keep you. And thank you so much for your subscription, for your likes, and for your comments. See you in the next video. Bye bye.